Week 19, Habitats, Ecosystems of Plants and Animals. Teachers, what I have is little dioramas made of a forest, grassland, desert, saltwater, freshwater. They need to know the difference between the two bodies of water. I've also written some words in here to give them some idea of what's in this habitat so they can read those and get an idea of what the description of these habitats are. Then what we're going to do is take these animals that I put together and sort them into the different habitats that they live in. And they need to understand that, like the snake, he can live in a lot of different habitats. He could live in a forest, the grassland, the desert. There's sea snakes. And of course we have freshwater snakes like the water moccasin. So I'm going to start sorting my animals. It's a group effort. So they might have some disagreement, but you know there's nothing wrong with that academic conversation taking place where they learn from one another. So as I start sorting these, some kids might disagree. So it's good to let them listen to each other and see what everybody thinks. Like I might put my white wolf, who's actually an Arctic animal, down here. Got a little mountain lion. My raccoon could live in various places. He certainly could live in the grassland. My frog could live in fresh water. But, you know, it's kind of up to them where they want to place these animals, as long as they don't get it totally wrong. And I have quite a hodgepodge of little animals. Like this is a little turkey here. I'm going to put my little turkey in the grassland. So as I'm sorting the animals, they're talking about, you know, they're working as a team to get their animals in the right place. Got a little alligator here, so I'm putting him over here in the freshwater. And then I have quite a few little insects, so I just kind of scatter them through each habitat. And another alligator. Turtles, they got to look at the feet and decide where they live. Some of the turtles in here have flippers, some have feet. So I'm going to put him over here in the freshwater. Scorpions. A lot of kids actually, all through this activity, thought this was a crab. We have crabs, and they look like crabs, but this is a scorpion. So we're going to put the scorpions in the desert. I'm sorry, that wasn't a scorpion. This was crawfish. So we're going to put him by freshwater. We have a strange little lizard. And of course a spider. They live pretty much everywhere. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to sort these animals. We're going to talk about why they live there. As you get into third grade, you might start asking them about their, you know, what allows them to live there. Why can you not take that whale and put him in freshwater? Why will he die if you do that? What adaptation, or what is the bird wanting? Is the bird going to be happy living over here in the saltwater? If this blue jay that we have here in East Texas wants to live in the saltwater, is he going to be happy? What are his needs? So let him start talking about what these animals need. This is going to take a little bit of your class time, about 15 minutes, for them to go through this activity. And then the end result is I want them to produce a product of an ecosystem. And I have sketched one out here, and I used Sharpie so it would show up. I had it in pencil, it doesn't show up. So what they're going to have to start with is the sun. They have to know an ecosystem depends on how much sunlight it gets. It also has to do with the water cycle, and so we drew some clouds in here to show that somehow precipitation is getting in that ecosystem. Then I made them, they have to come up with their land. They can't just start drawing animals without land. And unless it's the desert, they have to come up with some kind of body of water. It could be fresh water, it could be a river, it could be a lake, pond. If they're drawing the desert, then I would show them that little dewdrops form on the cactus, and that's how a lot of the animals get their water. Then I start with my plants and animals, and like I told the kids, it takes more than one tree to make a forest. So if you're doing forest, you're going to need several trees. They like to look in books. They like to use the little animals that I have here. Like a lot of the kids trace these little animals because they didn't know how to draw an alligator, which is fine. Then they have to place their animals in their habitat. This is all going to be colored. And I told them it was a model, it was a scientific model, so it needed to have good representation of color. I need a yellow-orange sun. I need like whitish-blue clouds. I need green trees. I need the animals colored the color that they are. I didn't want to see any wild colors because when you're making a scientific model, you want to make a true representation. So when we get through with this, we're going to select the best one from each class, and we're going to make us an art gallery out in the hallway, first grade through fourth grade, for our ecosystems. And that will be this week. Thank you.